your hawk, get out your bib. Solid! Picking a rib. Out the east to a barbecue and start picking a rib.
And he kept on picking.
Good for them, good for me and you, so let's start picking too. Old King Cole came out of a hole by picking a rib. Picking. Smoked a hog on a red outlaw, called it a barbecue. Say, stomping chicken, we've got a new creation. Say, you better start picking called barbecue.
8.
Pickin' and Flickin' in the Nostril Zone, where we pick a book off my shelf and flick through it. What else could that mean? I'm your host, cartoonist Kyle Bridget, and today we're looking at Monty Python's Big Red Book. Now, something might stand out to you about this Big Red Book, which is that it says up here, special hardback edition, even though clearly I've gotten the softback edition. So I don't know. There must have been some sort of mix-up in the factor at this one. Now, this is a special limited edition of, oh, look, I got number 1 of 294,999, I guess. Now, this is actually my second copy of this book. I bought the first one off of my friend Jeff, who I guess really isn't my friend anymore. He became an evangelical Christian, and every now and again I send him a friend request on Facebook, and then he quietly unfriends me. Too bad. Anyway, it used to say down here, this Big Red Book belongs to Jeffrey Wells and not to Jeffrey Cram. Now, if you'll draw your attention down here, you'll see that it says a special offer, a free gas cooker given away with every other copy of this book. See other copy. And, this pisses me off because, like I said, I've bought this book twice, and somehow I didn't get the gas cooker either time. I must have gotten 2 copies of this one and none of the other. What are the odds? So, like a lot of episodes of Monty Python's Flying Circus, it's got some dueling correspondence here. We start off with a endorsement from Reginald Bosanquet from the Independent Television News Limit, who says, "Dear Monty Python reader, I'm extremely pleased you've decided to buy this book, as I personally think it's the best book in the world, with 1 or 2 exceptions." And then immediately there's another letter on Independent Television News letterhead that says right away that we want to make it clear that we are in no way associated with our Bosanquet's endorsement of your rather silly book. And then we get another one that's from Colonel Sandy Volstranger, who says, "I would like to point out the trouble with which the Python team have gotten themselves into by not asking me to write their foreword." And our next letter is on BBC TV letterhead from Richard Baker. "I'm writing to say how disappointed we are here at the BBC that, having worked for the corporation, you should have sought out endorsement for your book from independent television newscasters rather than the BBC's own newsreaders." And I like how they've got the red ink that he signed in here. It looks, just so. And something you'll find out about this book is that it does an excellent job at sort of replicating the feel of the Monty Python Flying Circus TV show. Okay, then we've got a couple of telegrams, Overnight Python Productions, appalled by your lack of taste in not choosing a staff newscaster to write the foreword. Ronald Fletcher, BBC Sound Radio. Then you've got a full page of comic-style ads, which on first glance look normal. But when you peek in here, they say things like, "Why not be different this Christmas? Why not send your friends a lump of cold sick? It may cost less than you think. Write to Vom It Productions. For sale, tin of boot polished, part used, willing to exchange for 1964 Rolls-Royce in maroon or royal blue. Top prices paid for anything. Small brown and green thing for sale. Could be a Vermeer." It's a very smart one. "Are you over 6 feet tall, well-built, alert, keen, with a smart mind, a good education, and think you deserve a better opportunity in the world today? Cocky little bugger, aren't you?" So you get a mix of stuff that's right out of the show like this, or, oh, what's this? Oh, the end. Monty Python's Big Brown Book was brought to you by the makers of. It's just such a goofy, fun read-through. There's just, every page it sort of gives you something new. We've got Why Accountancy is Not Boring. And I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it's riveting. Ugh. Then we have The Naughty Pages. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da. we're going to get a little political with the silly party in this little political pamphlet. Vote wisely, vote silly. Support the silly party, the only party that is publicly committed to raising prices, destroying industry, causing inflation, ruining the economy. Now, that sounds like a lot of political parties that I know of, but I guess the silly party is the only one that's publicly committed to it. Also, a silly government would raise the school leaving age to 43, encourage naughtiness in high places, and maintain confidence in British silliness abroad. And when you flip the pamphlet over, my, what's this? Hello, keyhole for voyeurs. Oh, sorry, officer. And I like the way this page lines up perfectly with the eye on the pamphlet there. Keyhole for exhibitionists. You know, it really is just good book design. Lots of little clever layout tricks like that. So we got more stuff from the show. Here's E.D. Silly's page. This is like an activity page with the answers. And then we've got the lyrics to Spam. Spam, 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 spam. Lovely spam, spam, lovely spam. Wonderful spam, lovely spam. And, you know, this is something that's, I think, great about Monty Python is, you know, they've got the music and they've just got great lyrics. You know, it's not like Weird Al Yankovic where it's all just a bunch of songs about food, you know. It's like some real literary songwriting here. And maybe I'll splice some of that spam, 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 spam in there. The World Encyclopedia of Carnal Knowledge. And then we've got the Australian page, which of course is upside down, and the children's page. And I really like that they included something for the kiddies, so we'll just read a little bit of this. Hello, children, hello. This is Uncle Dennis welcoming you to your own page. Hello. Today we are going to have a story, so sit comfortable and we can all start. One day, Ricky the Magic Pixie went to visit Daisy Bumble in her tumble-down cottage. He found her in her bedroom. Roughly, he grabbed her heaving shoulders, pulling her down to the bed and hurriedly ripping off her thin Old Nick, the sea captain, was a rough, tough, jolly sort of fellow. He loved the life of the sea, and he loved to hang out down by the pier where the men dressed as ladies with a melon. Here's the Postal Blackmail section. This is also something from the show. You might remember the bit where they would show a compromising video of someone doing something, and they'd have to wire the money quickly so they would stop airing the video. Got another song, Bing Tittle Bong. Are you civilized? Then we've got some letters here. Madam Palm writes. These are letters into like a psychic. Okay, and then this is good here. We've got the family tree of Johann Gamble Putty de von Ascherfen Splenden Schlitt Crashrin Braunfried Digger Dingle Dangle Dongle Burstein von Nacker Thrasher Apple Banger Horror Witz Colin Ick Grander Naughty Spelling Tinkle Grander Lick Grumble Meyer Spelter Wasser Cursed Lick Himble Eist Bang Wagon Guten Abend Bitten Nürburgen Burger Bratwurst Leger Spurten Might Weischt Mach Luber Hans Foot Gumber Aber Schonen Danker Kalbus Fleisch Schmidt Lurk Roger von Hopkopf of Ulm. They've got this whole family tree here. I always found Johann a kind of hard name to pronounce. And then we've got the greatest upper class race in the world. This is another one taken straight from the show. Some famous twits. What to look for in a great twit. Okay, the Lumberjack song. This was really my entry point into Monty Python. My dad showed me the Lumberjack song sketch, and I just thought it was so goddamn funny. I started seeking out whatever Monty Python I could get my hands on. I saw all the movies, used to be able to rent episodes of the show on VHS, and I imagine a lot of people get into Monty Python because their dad showed it to them. It's really a kind of dad got me into it kind of thing. I like how the goat's page is all chewed up. Then we have some secret Nazi stuff here in the Wizzo assortment. You got, of course, your Crunchy Frog, but you also have your Anthrax Ripple, that's America's favorite, and the Cockroach Cluster, enjoyed by royalty, except Swedish royalty. Then you've got a full diagram here, how to walk silly, in case you want to join the Ministry of Silly Walks. Be a modern hermit. I should scan this and laminate it, put it in my wallet. Another page here. I really like how they've handled the color in this book. You know, you've got this page here where it's like brown ink on white paper. It's just monochrome brown. There's not even black in this page. But then right beside it, you have this page here that's full color. You know, you've got all this yellow coming in, and but you've got blues down here. You've got the blue ink up here. It really is just like great design, and it's kind of a beautiful book, even though it's just so stupid. But you know, it's great. It's great. I love it. This is great too here, this Python Literary Guild. Accept any 3 of these great classics entirely free, plus £4, 30 quid postage and packaging. As your introduction to the Python Guild, you get 1 free tub of dung. This is really kind of playing on, you know, a classic ad that you would see in magazines and comics where they would be these like leather-bound, you know, encyclopedias or works of great literature, but, you know, they'd also be, you know, smut. This is sort of played up in some of these titles here, like Biggles Flies Undone, The Naked Frog, The Female Eunuch Meets Tarzan. And then here, you know, we get to the end, we've got another letter from the guy who wrote the foreword, Reginald Bosanquet. Dear Pythons, because of all the bitterness and recrimination surrounding my foreword, I should like to retract my endorsement of your book. It was never my intention to arouse antagonism of my rivals and colleagues, upon whose wholehearted respect and cooperation I depend. In any case, Methuen have commissioned a News at 10 book. Sincerely, Reginald Bosanquet. And here's something you got to respect about this book is that they give you all of their sources, even though it's kind of a stupid book. They've got a full bibliography here, although oddly it includes a lot of toad sexing. So you've got Mowing the Lawn by H.R.H., the Duke of Edinburgh. How to Spell by the Quoon. Tree Diseases in You, a thrilling account of life in Basingstoke. But when you jump down here, you've got The Girl's Book of Toad Sexing. Toad Sexing for Toddlers. Toad Sexing is a money earner. It pays to increase your toad sexing. Toad sexing can be fun. Teach yourself toad sexing. My Life with the Toad Sexer. Regular toad sexing. Toad sexing for married couples. Toad sexing at 60. You and the Toad. The Spanish Toad Sexer. Toad sexing all year round. Indoor toad sexing. A Midsummer's Night Toad Sexing. That one's a play. Toad sexing in the car. Lumps you can do things with. Bursting, a first primer. So it sort of departs from the toad sexing for a while, but if you jump down here, it's got Stop Yourself Toad Sexing. And then after the bibliography, you've got a historiography, a biography, an autobiography, a hagiography, a pornography, listography, biography, geography, dography, choreography, lexicography, bibliography, and martyrology. And then here's all the publishing information down here. First published in 1971 by Methuen & Co. Limited. Copyright 1971 Python Productions. And then it says reprinted 3 times, 1972, 1973, and 1974. Twice. So I guess this is one of the 1974 editions, and it's got the UK price on it. Like I said, this is my second copy. I don't know if my first copy had an American price, but I did find this in the wild. So I bought my first copy off of my former buddy, Jeff, when I was, probably 17 or 18. And then I just found this one at a used bookstore. And a good thing I did, because like the Wolvertunes book that I reviewed a few episodes ago, this was a book that I brought to a lot of zine making classes for teens, just because it's got like so many great things to kind of photocopy and collage. But, you know, as a consequence of that, my first copy got heavily read to the point that it kind of had to be retired. So it was very fortunate that I was able to find a second copy. And I mean, this was dirt cheap. What did I pay? Like $8. So good thing I did, because I can keep using this for zine instruction. And what a bargain. And I give it, oh, what do I give it? I give it 4.5 nostrils. I kind of hesitated there. You know, was I going to give it, 4 nostrils, 4.5? Of course it's 4.5 nostrils. This is an excellent book. It's a lot of fun. It's compelling page after page. It's consistently funny. It really captures the feeling of watching the show or the movies like nothing ever before. It's got all this great Terry Gilliam collage imagery. It's got great book design, great kind of layout. It's very interesting. I strongly recommend picking this book up if you're a Monty Python fan. You know, there's other Monty Python books out there, but this is the one. You know, I've seen a few of those and none of them have been as, you know, compelling or as funny on their own merits as this book here. And I also recommend supporting me on Patreon, where you can get early access to this series and all of my videos, including Canonically Crumb, where I explore the comics and characters of R. Crumb's Crummy-verse. Please remember to hit like, hit subscribe, be a ding-dong daddy, and ding that bell. And if you don't care to do that, well, you can just flick off.
Smoke your hog, get out your bin, solid, digging a rib.